Okay. All right, Kate. I'm so excited to be face to face with you. I know we see each other sometimes when I'm doing lives, I'll see you pop in, and sometimes I'll see you in some classes or trainings, but to have like this conversation, an intimate, organic conversation with you is just a treat for me. So I would love for you to talk about how you got into health coaching. Like, give us a little bit about your story, and then I've got a few questions I want to ask you.
Right. Well, that's kind of a long story, so I'll break it down as briefly as possible.
Okay.
In 2005, I and three of my children were diagnosed with chronic Lyme disease. By then, we don't know how many years we'd already had it. So that really kind of launched me into looking into how do I get well? Because conventional medicine had no answers. In fact, they couldn't even diagnose us.
Yeah.
We did have to find Lyme literate doctors. Then we moved in the middle of treatment from New Jersey to North Carolina, so had to start all over again. Anyway, so we got healed from that. We did well as far as the Lyme disease goes. I don't have that anymore, which is a story all in itself.
Right.
But some stressors occurred in 2011 that lasted about 5 years. I ended up losing both hips to replacements. The stress caused such incredible inflammation. My thyroid, my adrenals went crazy. Just a myriad of problems. And that really got me digging deeper. I started going back to school. I just finished my master's degree in natural health sciences, which is naturopathy, basically, and launched my health coaching business back last fall sometime, not with any fanfare. So cutting to the present, Tom was just diagnosed, my husband was just diagnosed with prostate cancer in December. And very quickly, within about 48 hours, we went from, okay, we're going to do a holistic approach to this, just you and I, to why don't I roll this out to my friends and family? Because what we're going to be doing is good for any kind of condition. So I went ahead, the program just sort of fell onto the paper. It just fell into the machine as I started typing. It just flowed. It was just like running water, just flowed onto the page. I launched it. I sent out information. I had about a 40% conversion rate, and we went live Monday, and I've got some good engagement going on over there. I'm really excited about the program, and it's all about the basics of good health. I took your 7 pillars of health, and I kind of tapped into each of those just in little increments that the people can implement each week, anywhere from 1 to 4 changes, depending on how bold they feel, how much they think they can handle.
Right.
And just everything that you've been teaching for, gosh, months, if not a couple of years. I think you and I met probably in 2016 in Dr. Axe's program.
I think it was before that, actually, or the very beginning of it. Yeah, I signed up with the INL thing just to kind of see, what was going on outside of the bigger schools. Like, what were these small trainings offering? Is why I went took Dr. Axe's course. I wanted to see what he was putting out. And not only that, but he's also kind of local to me because he's in Nashville, as you know.
Right. Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, you have. I know. I wish we could have met up. So tell me this. Let's kind of backtrack a little bit and tell me where you were before you found me. What were you doing before we stumbled upon each other, so to speak?
I had already started on my master's program. I was getting very interested in leaky gut and how that seems to be a piece of almost every, if not every, chronic or autoimmune condition.
Right.
And I had come upon Dr. X's program, Healing Leaky Gut. I paid for that, got certified with him through the Healing Leaky Gut program. I became a moderator for his Healing Leaky Gut page on, his private group that he does. Was really, really interested in that. And I think that's where you and I met, was somewhere in that process. Yeah. But I was really focused on how can I help people heal? Because everywhere around me, almost 100% of the people I know in my demographic have some kind of chronic illness, or they're on multiple medications.
Right.
How can I help them break free of this cycle and get to a place where they're doing things that are building body tissues, building health, right, instead of just masking symptoms or actually breaking down health?
Right. So let's talk about the struggle that you had in trying to figure out how to build that part of the business. Because I know that's a big struggle for a lot of health coaches is, I've got all this great information, all this knowledge, I've taken these courses or these classes, how do I actually take that and move it into a business model? Like, what were your biggest struggles back then?
Part of taking Dr. Axe's course, the Healing Leaky Gut course, there was a health component and there was a business component. And the health component was just fabulous. I was really loving that. But everything in the business component was just overwhelming to me. And it took me several months of feeling really kind of condemned, like I'm just not doing what I should be doing. How do I launch this into a real business? But also feeling like I wasn't prepared, I wasn't ready. And I finally came to a place where I said, you know what, this isn't my track. This isn't where I'm supposed to be right now.
Right.
What I need to be doing is focusing on finishing that master's degree, focusing on educating myself. So I did attend a number of summits. You know, we're going into summit season now and they're just rolling them out.
Yes.
I attended a bunch of summits, took tons of notes, did all of that to prepare myself to feel like I really knew what I was talking about.
Yeah.
And I just kind of sat with that, did my thing, and waited till I felt like timing was right. So the struggle really was feeling that pressure that I should be doing X, Y, or Z, and then finally coming to the place of peace that, no, this is not where I am yet.
Okay.
And like I said, in December with Tom's diagnosis, it was like all of a sudden, boom, 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 the pieces fell into place. You know, for the longest time, I couldn't even figure out what to call my business.
Right. Oh, that's a struggle. That's definitely something I see all the time. We work on that constantly in the school, or people are always putting their names out there and saying, what should I call this? What should I, you know, do I use my name? Do I use a business? It is a real struggle for health coaches, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And I looked through, you know, Google's to make sure I wasn't stealing somebody's name and all that. And I originally had named my closed group page Kate's Garden of Health and Wellness because I didn't know what else to do. And I was using my own photos for my garden.
Yep.
And as this program came out in December, the one I just launched, it just, again, fell into place, Restoring Health and Vitality with Kate Theriault.
Yeah.
So my group, that's now a private group that's doing the paid program, is Restoring Health and Vitality. Excuse me. My group page that has now become public is Restoring Health and Vitality with Kate Theriault, which I haven't even Googled it to see if I'm stealing somebody's name.
I wouldn't worry about that too much. I wouldn't worry.
Right. This is it. But again, it just kind of came to be, instead of all the struggle and all the angst, just the timing is now.
Okay. So I want to know what brought you to me. Like, I want to know why, like, what about us and the Institute and what we're doing attracted you? I mean, what made you go, okay, this is something I want to be involved in?
That is so easy to answer. I am a very real person, a very upfront person. I actually have, over my lifetime, had people come to me and say, you're so real. That's what I like about you. And that's what I see in you, Carmen, that you are real about what you say, about what you teach. You're consistent across the board. You don't waffle back and forth between, you know, this group or that group. You say something here, you say something else here. You're consistent. You teach the same things all the time. You stay on track and you call it like it is. Not in an ugly way where some people might, you know, you're fairly tactful, but you're blunt, you know, you're right out there. And I appreciate that approach. I trust people more when they're real with me. And if I'm doing something wrong and you say, hey, slap upside the face, look what you're doing, I appreciate that. Yeah. So that, I think that was what drew me to you. And honestly, I think God just like put you in my path and I've had other coaches and other marketing gurus and various professionals market to me, and I've followed them for a little bit just to see. I always just X out of them and unsubscribe and come back to you.
Oh, I love it.
It's all, to me, you're a one-stop shop. You have the health information, you have the business information, you have the marketing information, you have the Facebook and online technical information. Why do I need to go somewhere else?
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love it. And that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to bring to people, is just one place that we can give them real information, like that we can share real things that work and help you avoid the things that don't. You know, I mean, how many times are people posting, has anybody tried this or purchased this? And I'm like, don't waste your time. Don't waste your money. This is the simplest, most affordable way. And you know how we try to, when we're using the 7 essentials with our clients, we try to do it in the least emotionally, financially, and physically stressful way, right? That you hear me say that
Right.
quite a bit. Well, that's kind of how I like to work for coaches too. I want to make this as low stress financially, physically, and emotionally as possible for you guys to have a good, to have your business up and running and to have a life that you love. And, I think you made a good point about the marketing a few minutes ago. People are marketing to you from things, I believe, that they think that you want. Fancy this and fancy that. And, the ads speak for themselves. I mean, people making six figures and all of that, but that's not real life.
Right.
It's not real life. It's not realistic. And honestly, I'm still waiting for that one person that can come to me and say, I made six figures being just a health coach and doing nothing else. I'm still waiting because I'm here to talk whenever that happens. Right. So absolutely. So let me ask you, tell me a little bit about what your business and your life feels like in this moment today.
Wow. Right now, I feel like a hamster kind of running on that wheel because it took off so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really loving it.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this, and I've been looking forward to it for a couple of years now.
Yes.
Excuse me. So I'm really loving this, and I am starting to get people contacting me for fees and services to work one-on-one. Don't have one of those paying yet, but
okay. So are you going to lead to that from this group? Are you going to, how I always talk to you guys, like when you hold an event, whether it's free or it's paid, always have a next action step for them to take, whether it be 10% off your one-on-ones or taking something that you're teaching even further by another group or something like that. What are your plans for that?
Yeah, with this group, in spite of the fact that it covers a lot of information, and my next rollout, it's going to be split into two groups, a basic and an advanced.
Okay.
And of course, the price will probably triple.
Yes.
That was one of my marketing things is, look, folks, this is the only time you're ever going to get this much content for this price.
Yep.
But I did offer prizes too for whoever does the best, keeping track of their progress, before and after pictures, things like that. One of the prizes is a 1-month consultation package with me, which I've told them, I hope you make so much progress that you can give this away to one of your friends and family.
Yes.
But yeah, I plan to stay pretty close to the program because I don't want to give away everything I know. With people asking questions, let's stick to the program, because if you want to go deeper for your issues, you're going to have to book some time with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's where I am right now. Like I said previously, I did split my personal page from my group page that's now public.
Right.
And I'll be doing a lot more marketing there.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So as we were talking about before we got started, that's the, I'm saying that this is your leaping off point. And I love that you have so many friends and family that are going to be taking this, because that's your doorway to other people. I mean, how many people do we all know, that need someone like you or someone like me to guide them? I mean, there's so many people. I can tell you this, and I talk about building that referral-based practice that I had. It was 100% referral based for, I think it was 4 years before I even put a tiny little ad in. I traded ad space for blogging in this magazine. But other than that, it really was just people saying, asking people, did you get rid of this? Or how do you feel so good? How did you lose so much weight? And it's always, oh my gosh, my friend Carmen, or my personal trainer Carmen, or whatever I was doing at the time. And people would contact me all the time, text, email, Facebook. I hear you're this, I hear you're that. So that's what's coming your way. You're going to start hearing from people that you don't know, and people are going to be asking to be your friend that you don't know too. So you got to. Well,
that's been happening for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Especially people who knew me back in the Lyme days. I have gotten quite a few phone calls to just consult with their friends who have Lyme disease or family members. And I do that just, I want to give back to the Lyme community because I was there and I know how desperate it feels.
Yeah.
And the other thing, there's one point I'd really like to make. As you're building a coaching business, really don't be afraid to sew into that, because I feel like the past I've probably been doing this 12 years at least, in terms of just offering information to my friends, as I learned it. But the past 2 years, really intensively offering information as I came upon it, whether it was sharing an article or sharing what I'd learned, or writing something and just putting it out there for them totally for free, because I'm sewing into my future. I'm sewing into my business. And I want people to know that I am learning the stuff, that I am doing the hard work, that I am preparing myself, because when I offer myself as a consultant for a fee, I really know what I'm talking about, and they know that because they've seen it in the past. So I think sewing into your business is a really healthy way to build a following, even if you're not launched yet and you're not charging anything.
Right. Absolutely. You're building awareness of what you do, who you are, what your brand is, and so on. Absolutely. I agree with that.
Yeah.
And I did that for years before I got started. So let's just touch on, what kind of thing, if someone came to you and said, I want to go to a health coaching school and I don't know where to go, there's so many out there. What would you say to someone who's not yet enrolled, but is kind of teetering on the edge of doing so?
I would definitely send them to you, because I think you have such a broad-based approach to everything. If there's any question about any particular health issue or business issue, not only do you have it in your program, but if it's something that's not in your program, you've got such a great group of coaches on your group page that the question can be answered somewhere by somebody.
Aren't they just like so high caliber? All of you guys.
Yes.
It's like,
yes.
I have hopped into other groups, I'm a lurker. I like to go in and see what people are talking about when it comes to health coaching. And I have to say, like, the conversations that we have are above and beyond just simple things. Like, everybody likes to go deep, and everyone seems to begin to understand, like, especially if they're new to the mentorship group, though. They're starting to understand where we belong in this space. You know what I mean? Like, what our role is as a health coach to our clients. So I'm loving to see that shift. And as Trisha likes to say that, about disruption, that's what we're trying to do here with the Institute. We're trying to cause a little bit of a disruption in the health coaching business so that people are doing this in a safe and reliable way, that we can build our credibility. So, and that's what the Institute for Functional Health Coaching is all about, is staying safe, building a business we love, but also remembering that we are health coaches. We're not doctors or any other things. And I think that just even going through and reading some of the threads, you can see that that's evident that we understand that. Don't you agree?
Yeah. And I think that's probably one of the biggest things that you have contributed to my business. I'm in a red state, so I needed to know what my limitations were. And I tend to be, I told you I'm the brash, outgoing type. So I tend to be the one who just says to somebody, you just need to do this.
Yeah.
So it's been good for me to constantly hear from you about safe language and keeping in your lane and all that, and practicing it. So I've actually had to practice it both in my mind and in my conversations with people.
Yeah.
So
and it becomes a habit. Doesn't it become a habit? I mean,
it's getting there.
Yes, and it will. But I will say this, like, I don't even, in my home with my husband and my kid, I don't even use the words. Like, it's almost like I can feel myself wanting to say, well, you're never going to heal that with, but then I stop myself. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're in your house. But it's just kind of, it's part of my life though. I feel like when we talk that way out in the community with our friends and family, it can trickle into our business, right? And we don't want that to happen. So I just kind of make a general rule of not using those words out in my life at all. I don't even use the word diet unless I'm referring to something that is the paleo diet, is the vegan diet, or whatever.
Right.
So, absolutely. Well, I have to say that I'm super excited for you. I'm excited for your success. That's a massive conversion rate. And I can guarantee you that, like we just talked about a minute ago, before we got started, that momentum is starting for you. So keep your excitement up about it, share your experience and what works for you and what doesn't, because as you know, I mean, I'm the one that runs all of this stuff and the Institute and all that, but I'm just the person that's at the top of the chain, like helping you guys find each other. It's really about what you guys are giving to each other and what you're sharing with each other and the support that you get from your peers. I think that's what the community of coaching is all about. It's really it's not about me. I gave you the content, but it's about you guys. It's about all of you knitting yourselves together in a way that really makes sense for health coaching. And, I'm loving it. I'm loving having all of you, and I cannot wait to watch you succeed with this. So I'm excited for you. I appreciate you taking some time to talk today, and keep me posted on how things go. Okay.
Oh yeah, definitely, Carmen. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much.